Welcome to the Founders Lounge, where business meets bullshit and everything in between. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Founders Lounge. You know, I was thinking on the drive here, of intros to podcasts. I don't know what made me start thinking about it. Have you ever listened to, some of the variations that people do?
Yeah.
You've got the ones that are, super polished, and they're like, welcome back to the blah, 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 podcast.
It's not
and
us.
Then I laugh about it. I'm like, yeah. And then you've got others that just jump right in. I just like the rolling,
No, man. I think if it would feel weird, I think if we had a real polished intro,
right.
I'd rather
It'd feel
be
weird if we had a polished anything. A polished
polished look, polished sound.
I like those hats though.
These aren't bad. I mean, I don't know if Jamie, you were running it before we officially launched him, but we've got some. We should give them away. I mean, it's the materials.
I've given a bunch of them away.
Have you given them away? Good. Because the material's a little different than what we were looking for the first run, but I'm still wearing it, man. I'll tell you right now, it's a lighter in the back, so I can actually when I run, I can wear it, and it fits to the to the scalp. You can sweat in it, is what I'm trying to get at. It looks like a hairnet.
All right, welcome back to a Business and Bullshit episode. This one's going to be fun.
Yeah. I always like these, man.
Let's jump into some roundup, current events. We were just talking before we started recording here that you're struggling to find things that are funny.
Right, man.
And I was explaining to Steve, these don't have to be funny. I think what's cool for me is I like to keep tabs on what's going on in our industry.
Yeah.
All industries really, but I really follow what's going on in the food, QSR, fast casual industry. So 90% of the ones that I do in this Founders Roundup segment is food related. And I found a good one yesterday when I was doing some research, and it was an article that I read on Chipotle. And it was they were interviewing the CEO, guy's name's Scott Boatwright.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen pictures, I've read articles that he's done before, but it said that they did their earnings call for Q3 and they only grew 0.3%, which is wild to me. Our industry, I think I've mentioned it on previous episodes, is just taking a beating right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard. And we're experiencing it. Every brand under the sun that deals in the food business is experiencing it. I'm like, okay, well, here you got Chipotle, who only grew 0.3%. But one of the things that I found interesting was 40% of their total sales came from household incomes under 100K.
That is that a shift from normal for that particular brand?
Yes. So that's kind of what his point was. And then he goes on to say, that they're not losing customers and customer traffic. Their transaction count is way down, is what he was alluding to. And he said they're not losing it to competition. They're losing it to grocery stores and food at home.
Right.
People are just not, they're not coming in as often. And I've thought that was intriguing because we're experiencing that, with Clean Eats, and not necessarily our cafe side, but the meal plan side. And we've got two things happening. GLPs is really affecting our business, which we're trying to do a better job of education to our customers on the importance of getting the right nutrition in. If you're using GLPs, we're not knocking GLPs or the use of them, because we've had Brittany on before. And,
right.
I firmly believe in the need for them, but I think where there's an educational gap is people understanding the amount of nutrition that they need while they do it. And so we're experiencing those same things. And, it was just a cool article. And he just said that guests are starting to come in less often because they're also pinching their wallets. They're not spending the money. And one of the other kind of correlation there is he went on to say that they're being uber conservative on price. Now, this is freaking Chipotle.
Yeah, I mean, their footprint, yeah.
And Yvonne and I have stressed that to, with our franchise system, because we're always getting comments about, we need to raise prices, or my market's more expensive. Can we raise price? This, that, and the other thing. And, we've just we've held that line and kind of stood as firm as we could on it for that reason.
Right.
So I don't know. I just thought it was a really cool article, I'm not happy that Chipotle is suffering. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but kind of makes me feel better that, this is a big, what I would call a Power 5 brand, experiencing some of the same things that we are. It was just kind of interesting to see the correlations there.
And Yeah, to have that big baseline and like, okay, it's not misery loves company, but it is a relief. It's like, okay, this is affecting everyone. It's not something we're doing.
Right.
And with your model, the cool thing is with Clean Eats is it is a lifestyle. I mean, those meals are a tool as much as they are an enjoyment. As where hey, I love Chipotle, man. So don't get me wrong.
Oh, I do
I
too.
crave Chipotle, but I
Yeah.
can walk away from Chipotle and it's not gonna mess with my dietary needs.
I thought they've been doing
Yeah,
a fantastic job with their
right. Yeah, man, it's
quality of the
consistent.
food.
And they've also done a great job with leaning into a younger market. I mean, the reason we go is largely because the kids crave it. And then I get there, I'm like, damn, this is a good, it's quick. I think ultimately, though, we're just all tired, aren't you? Like, the idea of going and sitting down in a dining room of anyone's restaurant after all the stuff that's thrown at you day in, day out is tricky. Um, and I think people, you're right, man. It's just easier at times to say, I'm just going to stay at home.
I have my own opinions on why that's happening. And I think it's because technology has advanced so far that we have this instant gratification mindset now.
True.
And we get everything so freaking fast. To where if you think back in the early 90s when we were kids, going out to dinner on a Friday, Saturday night with your parent, that was like the highlight.
You were
Like
excited. Yeah. You started getting excited
Applebee's
on
and
Wednesday.
Chili's,
Yeah. It was a big
and,
deal.
and those guys, that was their prime. They were banging. And that just doesn't happen anymore because families are so busy because they've been able to put more into their life because things have been made so easy.
No, you're right, man. I mean, and I've talked about this. Sarah and I have talked about like as kids, probably not psychologically. It was a reward. You're right. You get a good report card. Guess what? You get to pick the place that we're going out to eat within a. And now you're 100% right, man. I just think the mindset of how you
Baby
view.
back ribs Friday, baby.
Hell yeah, man. Riblets, all that crap.
I loved it,
Just
man.
nothing but quality. Well, we didn't know any other.
Yeah.
Actually, I get into one of our 80s childhood throwbacks here in a little bit. Mine was, and to Don's point, like his world is QSR, and mine's branding and marketing. So everything I talk about just naturally leans into that because that's what I hear the most about. And I thought this was kind of Amazon Prime's getting beat up because I didn't know this, but they bought the rights to the James Bond 007 franchise, I guess. And I grew up on those with my father. Those were like the bonding movies, no pun intended, that my dad and I would watch together. And apparently it was James Bond Day. And in promoting it, like Amazon Prime removed all
That's
guns.
a thing?
It's in October, I guess. Yeah.
Huh.
They removed all guns from all of the promotions. So like they photoshopped them out. So the pictures of him double fisting a couple pistols, or they removed the guns. It's just him with crossed arms. You got to go online and see it. And people were furious. They call it cultural vandalism, which I think is a great term. But they basically whitewashed the posters to not have guns, and it was just a big backfire, no pun intended.
Isn't it part of the damn logo?
James
Him
Bond?
holding a
Yes,
pistol
that's
up,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, they moved it. They would extend his arms. They did all these things. So from a visual art standpoint, there's a move that totally you try to get a little bit too PC and you screw yourself. So I guess it went viral. People were just furious about it. And note to the wise: don't change a good thing, man.
Dude, that's wild.
Don't change Cracker Barrel. I mean, that's what it all goes back to. Don't change stuff people are used to.
All right, pop culture, baby. Pop culture bullshit.
All right, what do we got?
I see your note here, Dre.
Yeah, this is going back to the
Snoop.
old. So it's all the celebrity side hustles I keep coming across. They're all like in the cosmetic space, and I'm like, we can't keep talking about. So this one was cool because I was a Red Lobster fan as a kid.
Hell yeah.
Right? So that was one of those. It's just weird how
cheddar,
this works
the
out.
butter cheddar biscuits.
Hell yeah, man! Like, and they're another one that you've watched. They're trying to reinvent themselves. Like,
dude, they've reinvented themselves like 3 times in a decade. Yeah.
There was a company, I think it was out of Japan. It doesn't matter, but they bought them out like private equity, and they did all of the shrimp you could eat. And I guess this was years ago. I don't know if you remember that debacle, but like they basically oversold and under-earned, and it killed them. So now they're trying to reinvent. But they've partnered up with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and they have so it's kind of like a side hustle, but they have a drink out now. It's basically like a gin and juice. It's called what is it called, the side hustle by Dre and Snoop at Red Lobster, and it comes with a little shooter of Skittles because it's Snoop Dogg's favorite candy. I just think that's cool. I mean,
are they really doing that, or did you?
Hell yeah, they did it through the month of October. I don't know if it's going to be if it's gonna make a cameo and come back, but I just think it's ridiculous. It's like for $10.
I wonder what Red Lobster paid for that celebrity
That's what
partnership
I'm
with those
saying.
two.
Like, right to use their names throughout their entire footprint, and then they have those two endorsing and promoting it. And then who the hell came up with that idea on the marketing team?
I
Like,
don't know, but
talk
I
about left
like it.
field.
It's goofy, but I like it.
So I just thought
$10.31 for a juice for a
roughly,
drink.
yeah, yeah. I'm
Wow.
assuming it's a gin and juice drink. I put that in my notes. I'm just assuming it would make sense, but they know their audience. Their audience are 40, 50 somethings like us that's going to resonate. That want candy with their imitation crab meat.
Man, I used to
No
love going
offense.
there and getting them biscuits, and then they had what was that? The big surf and turf platter where you could
Right,
get a
dude.
steak, lobster tail, shrimp, and then there was something else I don't remember. And then it was like unlimited sides or something. Like you could kill
It was
yourself there for
fancy when
$30. Like
yeah,
it was.
but when we were growing up, man, my parents, that was like an elite restaurant. It was like, oh, Red Lobster, you really have to. It's a birthday. It's not in every Friday.
It's
Um,
an event.
it's an event, man. The Red Lobster event. So thought that was kind of cool.
Going to Red Lobster Shooter.
Yeah,
All
that's it, man.
right, viral social media memes. It's not really a meme. So usually I'm just picking something on social media that I'm getting more attracted to and following a lot more. And one of the things that I found, and it's weird that I just started doing this as much as I'm around it, but some of these wildlife photographers are insane. And I'm like, I found this one guy. His name is Isaac, and apparently he's pretty popular. I didn't know that, but he's uber popular. His page is super successful. And I found a couple of his pictures, just kind of like I was scrolling through, like, on Instagram, you have the search tab.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know what they call that, but I was flipping through there one day and I started seeing all these like really high quality videos or photos of like grizzlies, elk. And I'm like, holy shit, those are good photos. So then I clicked on this dude's profile and I just got lost in it. I just went
Yeah.
down a
It's sick.
wormhole. And then, the guy, all he does is travel through the mountains and take pictures of wildlife, and then he markets it. He does like calendars and things like that.
Sponsorships. Yeah.
Right. But then I started following more and more of them, and I'm like, holy shit, this is cool. I liked it so much. Like, I'm seriously going to go get a camera and start playing around with it just at the farm.
You should.
Because you know how many times I'm sitting in a deer blind out there at the farm and I see some wild shit happening in the woods. I'm like, man, I'm trying to film it on my shitty little iPhone and I can't get a good quality photo or video. I mean, there's hawks all over the
Man,
place
I'm
back
telling
there.
you, that's another thing that like our guys our age, and when I say our age, I'm talking anywhere from 30, 40, 50, are picking up photography. I'm dead serious. Like I see it with a lot of friends. I mean, these are hunters. These are guys that make their own beers, and now they're doing birds and shit like that. And it's like, I think it's because we spend a lot of time outside, and we want to break from the digital stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Your feed now is just going to be all wildlife. You're
I
done.
don't know about that.
Wildlife, and God knows what else.
I got to learn how to use the damn thing first.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got hundreds of thousands of dollars of media equipment in our
Right.
headquarters that our media team uses. And every time I go in there and I start messing with something, they're like, leave it alone.
You just gotta find some. Yeah, you gotta find a brand. My understanding is from our team too. It's like you find a brand you're comfortable with. It's not, no one size fits all. My strange news is kind of my segment, and again, it's brand oriented. I just thought it was killer. It's a good way to repurpose probably a pretty bad thing. The Louvre Museum. Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Louvre Museum. Everyone knows that recently it was like it was like a Hollywood movie pull off. They stole a bunch
dude,
of
that was Ocean's 13,
it
baby.
was, dude. And I've been fascinated by it because of that. It's something like you couldn't write it better in a script, and you guys know about it by now. But basically, they stole a bunch of art and jewelry and all that stuff. And this is probably one of the most secure institutions in one of the biggest cities in the world, or at least the most modern cities in the world. They were able to pull it off. And one of the ways they did it was they used a lift, like an industrial lift, like to drive in. And the lift company, I think it's a German called Bacher. I put Bacher Merchant, where I'm going to butcher it, but we'll call him Bacher for this segment. Within 24 hours, started a campaign about how stealth and quiet and fast their lifts are. And they were like, if you need something done fast and you need something as quiet as a whisper, we're your guys. And they went viral on
Hell
social.
yeah, that's
Isn't
awesome.
that badass though? Like they took an international story and found their little part of it and turned it into a positive. So people loved it. I don't know how the Louvre probably felt about it, but
I mean, if you think
Again,
about that, man, I used to
repurpose a
work
brain.
off of JLG, so that's what it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
And I used to work off one. Those things, how in the hell did you steal, especially the Louvre?
It's
How'd you
insane.
do a job like that in a JLG and nobody
They're
notices?
huge machines.
They're
Yeah, that's
massive.
it. They're machines. They're loud. They're and no, they're surprised. I mean, the conspiracy theories. There were so many people involved, but I just thought it was cool to have a brand that took a negative, put it into a positive, and got a laugh out of it. So
That's wild.
yeah.
All right, the weekly Barbenheimer mashup. These are getting a little harder to find.
I told you, man.
They're
We're doing
getting a
so
little
much of this
difficult.
stuff. It's yeah.
But I thought of one, and it's Liquid Death and Red Bull.
Nice.
And they call it Afterlife Energy. Maybe I should join the marketing team. I don't know.
I love it.
Sparkling water, 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine. Looks like doom, feels like zen. Can you just imagine?
I love it, dude. That's actually.
And the reason I like it is because, I mean, if you're not familiar with Liquid Death and Red Bull, their branding and their marketing is some of the absolute best I've ever seen.
I'm gonna say it's all marketing.
Red Bull probably is the king of kings.
Right.
Like, to get a brand like theirs, and when they do their marketing, 0 product shots.
0 product.
Most of the time. 9 out of 10 times,
Yeah.
you won't even see a can of Red Bull in there.
Well, they've been able to totally like conflate it with the lifestyle of extreme, like sports and like that. And Liquid Death to me, like I knew about it because I had kids. It's obviously been around for a long time now, but to me, I was like, so it's water. Like what? The packaging is it. I mean, that's talk about being able to sell by packaging. It got it off.
It's awesome. I love it.
There's I saw something kind of similar, like protein drinks now are a big push. I mean, maybe you're more in that world than I am. They might have been around forever.
Oh, they're putting protein in everything.
But like
now.
protein waters and stuff. Yeah. And I saw that was like a big
Starbucks just did their first protein coffee.
Right. So it's not just like bars and food anymore.
No.
Can you over protein, right?
Like in a product?
Like if you're constantly consuming protein no, not in a product. Like I've got a 17-year-old son that thinks protein is everything. It's like, well, you're not like he's over eating and drinking protein, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Your body can only digest so much.
Right, dude.
You know what I mean?
All right, man. Founders hot takes. I put a question here, but are we you want to just go off the top of your head or
shoot?
All right, so we're ending the year in business. And this is kind of vague, man, so take it wherever you want, but like where should focus be? Like what's the focus of the year end as a founder, the annoyances, or what are you doing for Energy Boost or trying to clean things up? And that's a broad question, dude.
It is, but it's pretty easy for me to answer, and it's ironic because I was just having this conversation yesterday with a guy on the phone. I've been looking at 2025 with Clean Eats as kind of like a year of transition.
Yeah.
There's been a ton of transition, right? We hired a CEO August of 24, and we parted ways with him Valentine's Day of this year. So then, rather than hire a new CEO, I kept the position. We hired a new, ops guy, Quinn. We've had him on the...
Yeah, we had him on. He's
great.
And
he's phenomenal. Guy's been great. So we're just kind of, throughout the year, we've been making really good improvements on getting the right people in the right seat on the bus, kind of shifting people from different roles that better suit them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right? Like we had one guy who was a franchise business consultant, and it's not that he was doing a bad job. He wasn't doing a bad job. We just felt like we needed somebody who had a ton of experience in that role if we were going to elevate things in our operations, on our operations team. So we've since hired 2 fantastic franchise business consultants. And then we took the one guy and we transitioned him into another role that is kind of more his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so like when we were having these conversations, the first initial conversation was like, well, man, what are we going to do with this guy? And I'm, a light bulb went off in my head and I'm like, well, wait a minute. This guy is extremely good with, data, spreadsheets, analyzing numbers. He's just a wizard with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we need to improve and make more efficient. that is in this guy's wheelhouse. So why not move him into a role where he's going to thrive? And that's what we did. And so that's what I'm getting at is like I call it the year of transition. So really my focus going into the next year is we've got a few more of those transitions to make. Um, most of them we've done, but now it's getting them settled in, getting them familiar with day-to-day operations and the brand and things like that. And Quinn and I and the rest of the leadership team are getting ready to sit down actually here in a few weeks and just kind of line out a game plan for 2026. And it's hammered down.
So getting everyone adjusted in, settled, and then the action plan for each individual vertical. And yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's universal too. That's just like kind of what I wanted to hear out of you for anyone listening. It's, if you're at leadership level or even if you're not, just in your own department, like, because I get it all the time. Like, well, what should I do? The fourth quarter is everything to me, it's not to me. It's
fourth quarter for us winds down. So that's our slowest time.
Right. But
year.
It's a prep time.
Yes.
It's the time to the race is done and you're looking at the next milestone. And yeah, so, and it can almost be overwhelming because you don't know where to train. And so good stuff.
We're at that point, and these are the conversations I've been having. We're at that point where what got us to 100 units isn't going to get us to 200.
Right.
So now I'm making plans, setting the foundation to get the brand to 200.
So you're setting your metric of that. And all right, what do you got here? Next Founders Fast 5. These are really going to be fun for you. Again, all this stuff gets tricky because we do this every week, or every other week, a few episodes. Trying to stay on top of it. So I did a little bit softball to get you started, and I think I know your answers probably to some of these already. But a fall tradition that you just want to kill, put in the ground, you can't stand.
Oh boy,
there's a lot of them.
Pumpkin spice, fucking
dude,
anything.
I knew. I was like, it's so predictable. I was gonna say pumpkin spice.
I just can't. I'm not a pumpkin guy. Can't do it.
I think you and I have talked about this outside of the podcast. I am gonna just wear it on my sleeve. I love pumpkin, man. I love pumpkin beer, pumpkin coffee, pumpkin. I can't get sick of it. Yeah, I know, man. I'm like
the only pumpkin thing,
Hallmark,
and I'll give them a shout out on here. It's fine, but the only pumpkin thing I've actually ever really enjoyed, like when I ate it, I'm like, holy shit, that's good. First Form has a level 1 bar that they do every year. It's like an LTO run, and they do a pumpkin protein bar, and it's freaking phenomenal. It's amazing.
You know what I think it is, dude? Like, I think some of the pumpkin stuff, they just put too much spice in it. The actual flavor of pumpkin,
or they make it too sweet.
Too sweet, right? Yeah, too much nutmeg, whatever the hell they put in there to doctor it up. Because same thing. Sarah and I had usually every year's been a good batch, but we bought this one brand of pumpkin beer we like. We'll have one of them and then move on. It just tasted like chemicals, man. It was cinnamon, allspice. I was like, can't taste the pumpkin. So, all right, this is again broad question, bud. But weirdest source of inspiration? It could be in business and life.
Weirdest source?
Yeah, like what inspires you? What's inspiring you these days? It's probably the better. What's your muse? Don Varady's muse.
Man, that's a tough one to answer.
It's really
because
tough.
I'm not. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're not valuable. I just don't consume a lot of it anymore. I say anymore because there for a while I was immersed in it. Is all of the business, the leadership podcast, the self-development, personal improvement, whatever content, whether it's podcast, YouTube videos. I don't consume any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking it. There's a ton of people that get a ton of value for it, and I believe in it, and I think there's a need for it. I mean, shit, there's some of it that I do. Like,
right.
I put some out there. We're very big on it, but I do it. So I just feel like a lot of it is kind of overplayed, and it's regurgitated a different direction. But even with that, I can't really knock that either because a lot of people resonate with different people different ways.
That's it. Like, we're having a podcast. Like we get into a little bit of stuff here.
Something Andy Frisella says on his podcast may not resonate with somebody, but if Cody Sanchez, who's a female who articulates things a little bit differently,
right,
it may land with that person. So it being spun different ways and content being out there presented in different manners is fine. It's just something that I don't really get too much value from anymore, me personally. For me, most of the time, it's from my past mistakes.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking at something that we're wanting to do or a direction I'm wanting to go, I just immediately start traveling back in my head and, like, try to get nuggets, if you will, from things that have happened to me before.
Well, you've done it long enough now where you can actually read your own story a little bit versus reading someone else's. And I get it, man, because, like, listen, this podcast was you've had it before I even joined you, but it was always, I want a conversational tone, because that will hit with some people. And other people are like, these guys, what the hell, man? I want, like, direct instruction on how to. So 100%, it's the message and who it resonates with. But there has been a cognitive overload. I talk about it all the time with advice. So, all right, man, you can't say pumpkin anything here, but food hell, you get to pick one food. You this goes away from this earth. You put it in food hell, it's gone. And
Damn.
why? And why?
Damn.
Open your soul.
Food hell. Gone. We're just getting rid of it, huh?
It's gone. No one can enjoy it because Don Varady says he doesn't.
I've never been an anchovy guy. That's kind of a stupid answer, but
I love
can't stand anchovies.
I love Caesar salad, so that's the only time I really eat them. But they make the salad.
So do I, but I can't just. Yvonne, she loves them.
I do too, bud.
That nasty little
you son of a bitch. You get
twerk. She can take a can of and just.
See, I don't know if I've eaten them on crackers and stuff.
No, hell no.
It's like the hobo caviar.
It's probably gonna be anchovies. Yeah.
Man, we're done, man. Work habit that's annoying or embarrassing that you don't want people to know about. But if you ever gotten caught doing it.
Oh man, a work habit. Probably just catching my breath, and I don't want to say meditating, but if I need to calm down or simmer down, I have different techniques and things that I've been taught how to deal with it. And have I ever been caught? No.
Someone's in here.
Yeah. No. Because I usually just go to my office and shut the door, and our team's pretty good. If my door's shut, they don't knock on it too much.
Yeah.
But
that's fair, man.
It's kind of a boring answer.
I hum. It's real boring. I hum, man. I got caught humming, and it's all right, man. This one's tough too. This is the
or
final.
Sticking my tongue out when I'm concentrating.
Really? Yeah.
I've been doing that since I was a kid. Yvonne loves it. She's like, I love it when you do
chew
that.
on my cheek.
Like, what?
It looks like all right, last one. This is really tough, dude. Aliens make a movie, and the only reason I threw this one in there because it's this Atlas comet. I've been fascinated by it. I don't know if you've been down that rabbit hole, but there's a comet that came from outside of our solar system that is it just passed the sun, and in December it's going to get its closest point to Earth, but it's not demonstrating typical comet activity. The tail's in the front. It seems like it's being controlled. So there's conspiracies. Joe Rogan, everyone's talked about it, that this thing is a life form beyond. It's not a comet. It's just guised as a comet. So if aliens were to make a movie about Earth, what would it be called?
If aliens were to make a movie about Earth, what would it be called? Probably Lifestyles of the Mortally Retarded.
Jeez. Don. I mean,
they're probably going to come down here and go, these fucking people, look at these assholes.
What have they done?
Yeah.
What have they done? Yeah. If you couldn't see it that way, you're blind, because that's exactly what I mean, it's got to be something where it's like, how did they get this far?
They probably look at us like we're a bunch of ants on the anthill. You ever
That's a whole theory. Is like, would you stop and talk? So if there is an intelligent life form out there, you'd be comparable to a human stopping and talking to an anthill. Why would they even stop? Do you want to do anything? Yeah, exactly. So, all right, man, that's good stuff. Want to close this
weird.
out?
All right, guys. If you laughed, learned, or left angry, we did our job. Till next time.
Appreciate you guys.